And welcome back to the Rundown with Caleb and Casey here on a Friday afternoon this week. Schedule got a little bit shaken up here for what is going to be a little bit of a shorter pod than normal. As much as we hate to say it, this studio that we're in, very blessed to have it, and which means there's a lot of other people that want to be in here as well. It's in high demand. All those other lesser podcasts out there, and we wish them all the best in their podcast endeavors. But anyway, going to be a shorter pod today. The Cyclones are no longer undefeated. We'll talk about it. James Franklin is fraudulent. We'll talk about it. MLB playoffs are happening. We'll talk about it. The C-League intramural flag football playoffs have also been going on. And your boys, Caleb and Casey, as well as the rest of the fellas, have been effectively eliminated from the playoffs once again. Casey, heartbreaking fashion last night.
Yeah, just really unfortunate stuff. I think if game doesn't get canceled, the Lightning delays, we win that game with our full healthy roster. Things didn't go our way, ball didn't bounce our way, gave up a big play, and that was the difference in the end of it.
For context, we did play the first half on Monday night at 11 p.m. under the lights. Yes, you heard me right, 11 p.m.
Yep.
Played the first half, got to halftime, Lightning in the area. They postponed the second half to last night, which is Thursday night. 12-10 lead for the fellas, which go by the name of Are You Not Entertained? Shout out Gladiator. And so 12-10 lead to start the second half, and we lost. Good reminder, though, that that we still get to, the sun rises the next day and we get to show up here and talk about what we love to talk about. So let's get rolling here. Like we mentioned, Iowa State no longer undefeated. Lose the first of the year to Cincinnati this past weekend. Somehow only lose by 8 in that game. It felt like it was a lot more than that. Realistically, Casey, in that game, Iowa State actually had a lot of chances to win, a lot of chances to come back in that second half. But it never really felt like they deserved to have that chance. And, usually when games are like that, ball don't lie, however you want to put it. That just wasn't Iowa State's game from the get-go, right? When you go down 17-0 in the first quarter, there is not much you can expect after that. And here we are, first, major chink in the armor this year, and this one, I think is certainly a big one. We saw a lot of areas of concern moving forward, and good news is you get another opportunity this week and then another bye week, right? So there's a great opportunity to get back on track against Colorado this weekend, but this game against Cincinnati was really, really, eye-opening, yes. I think also just a bummer in a lot of ways, right? The way it all played out.
Yeah, it was just an incredibly unlucky, unfortunate game for the Cyclones. I mean, you give up 31 in the first half, giving up points on all 5 drives. It's going to be very difficult, right? And also a team that doesn't get penalized much, 5 first-half penalties on Iowa State. It went for 35 yards. Doesn't help either.
Uncharacteristic over the last couple of years.
Yeah, honestly, one of the worst halves in the Campbell era when you think about it. 31 points, 5 penalties, offense struggled. But the big thing is, you're starting to see the effects of missing Conrarty, 4 drives ending inside the Cincinnati 35. A lot of them are on downs. Then we had a missed field goal as well. Getting to the situation where you're used to getting 3 points and where in certain situations, your defense might not have been great, but hey, it could have been, 13-3. It could have been 17-10, something like that, instead of falling down by this much. And just getting those points and feeling the atmosphere of staying in it was a huge negative for this Iowa State team.
Yeah, I honestly, the narrative going into that game last week was, oh no, the 2 starting defensive backs are hurt for the season. This is not good. This is really going to put a damper on this team. And I actually was pretty encouraged by the level of play of the guys who stepped up at cornerback, namely Trey Bell, Quentin Taylor Jr., David Coffey. I thought those guys, for the most part, played pretty well, all things considered. Aside from that broken coverage on that last Cincinnati touchdown, which that might have even been Patton's fault at safety, I thought the corners played well. It came down to, that first half, like you said, one of the worst halves of the Campbell era. It was, poor tackling. It was, being out of alignment defensively. Reminded me, honestly, of that Kansas game last year.
Yeah.
A little bit like the Arizona State game too, although more so the Kansas game, because in that Kansas game, Iowa State, in that second half, you still felt like, okay, maybe they'll have a shot here. They're still moving the ball. Arizona State, that was bad across the board, but it was similar to that KU game. And we knew it would be a shootout, and the winning team would, just simply have to score more. And Iowa State, unfortunately, even when the defense kind of figured it out, put the clamps down in the second half a little bit, the offense then stalled out, and you just couldn't get both units going concurrently.
Yeah, and the big number for me is 260, Cincinnati season high rushing yardage. And they were just all over. And to be fair, a lot of that's not on the secondary. That's the front seven. That's the guys getting involved. And we talked about, is there going to be a change in the defense? There was not a single change made. Honestly, I think if there was any change made, it was playing further back defensively. It looked like the coverage was a lot softer, even on these short yardage, right? Yeah. 3rd and 3, playing off them for quick out routes and stuff like that. Not being in press coverage on short yardage plays and stuff like that. Kind of letting Cincinnati roam around. But as your DBs fall further and further back, QBs, especially guys that like to get out of the pocket, are going to get more and more yards rushing. And once again, Iowa State gets terrorized by a running QB.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we've seen this story many a time now in the last few years. And it felt like defensively the Clones were trying maybe a little bit too hard to put the training wheels on Trey Bell and Quentin Taylor, right? Give them as much support as possible by, like you said, playing further back, keeping 3 guys up front, just maximizing the ability for those guys at the cornerback positions to thrive. And the price you paid for that was just, again, a really, really bad rushing defense day. And it was one of those where you watch that in the first half and you're just appalled at how easy it was for Cincinnati to move the football on the ground. I mean, that's one of the worst things to watch when your team is on defense and you just cannot stop the run. It's brutal to watch. Other thing too, I mean, offensively, Iowa State played fine. I thought the receivers had a pretty good day. All around, one of their better days, honestly, over the course of this year so far. Some of these guys are coming around. Eskelson, Sowell, Townsend. Rocco missed on some big plays.
Yeah, in big moments too.
Yeah, he did. And he overall, I think, really helped keep Iowa State in that game, right? But you're right. Big 3rd down, 4th down plays. He misses on some big time throws. And that could be the difference at times, right? I mean, when you are down your kicker, when you are down, these guys on defense, you rely on your guy, your, all Big 12 caliber quarterback to make those big plays, those winning plays, right? And I'm not saying this is even close to Rocco's fault at all, because I don't think it is. But I think you need him to hit those, right? You need him to keep you in contention in that first quarter and give Iowa State a touchdown or, a touchdown and a field goal to keep that within a 2-score, even a 1-score game.
Yeah, it was big plays and, 3rd and 4th down, multiple passes that were just behind receivers, just pass receivers, right? Guys getting downfield, we have a look, and you just throw it just out of reach. The things that we weren't expecting from Rocco, right? We really talked about this is on the O-line's shoulders, and it's on Rocco's shoulders to kind of take over and get this team back on track. We knew they were going to put up a lot of points. We didn't expect 31, but at the same time, you held them to 7 points in the second half, and that didn't come until very late in the 4th quarter. So you had all the opportunities in the world to make a comeback. he was probably banged up too. Took a really nasty hit on a targeting call that was really grotesque.
Yeah, that was
injury.
bad.
A face mask into a targeting.
Gosh.
Like I was kind of worried. But he bounced up, he made plays, and at the same time, the run game was decent too. The big thing for me was Abu Sama's first game as kind of the bell cow back in this offense, which was good to see, and he looked really solid. So Hansen will continue to get his opportunities and stuff like that. I mean, Mansky even got 5 rushing yards, so you'll take that. But Rocco just wasn't 110%, and when you're missing so much on the defensive side of the ball, he has to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had Abu Sama as my player of the game for the Cyclones. You know, he had that play it might have been the first quarter, second quarter, where he had the hurdle and then did a little spin move and carried defenders for a few yards. He had a good game. Hard when you lose a game like that to really pick out a player. He was mine. I don't know if you have one circled.
Yeah, I've got Eskleton. I was between Sama and Eskleton, and if you're going to go Sama, I'm going to give mine to Eskleton.
Sweet.
I thought it was solid. 8 receptions, 105 yards. He had a big one. Touchdown as well. You know, kind of this receiver room just passing off wide receiver 1 duties back and forth. So really happy with how Eskleton played.
Yeah, I honestly, I am encouraged by this offense. I think things are starting to click more and more. You just, man, I don't know if it was part of the hit to the head or if it was the atmosphere, the weight of, you know, everything on Rocco's shoulders with knowing the defense was just going to have a hard time stopping anybody on Saturday that got to Rocco Becht. You know, if he can find a way to hit some of those, that offense, you look at it and, man, they had a pretty good day. But, you know, moving forward, looking forward to now you've got this Colorado game this Saturday, you know, 2.5-point favorite, 2:30 kick, 1:30 Mountain Time. This is a massive game, right? Colorado is not having a good season at all right now. They're 2-4. But these guys have talent, right? And they've got a coach right now that's battling some health issues. You never know when a team is going to galvanize around something like that. Cyclones have to win this game, right? We were talking about Big 12 championship expectations again before the season, right? You want to be in contention. To me, the goal was always be in contention for a Big 12 championship in November, right? If you lose this one, I think that is all but lost.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially with even tougher games coming right after this. The first time since 2010s, the Cyclones will head into Boulder. So, I mean, 15 years since going there, and we ended it on a 34-14 loss. So it's been a while. Need redemption for that one. But, yeah, it's a struggling Colorado team, but they have that explosive, you know, personality to them. They're going to be flashy. They always are on and off the field. They've got flashy players, you know. Caden Salter, he struggled, but when he's been starter this year, he's not bad. He really struggled against TCU with 3 interceptions. But the big thing is he's averaging 40 yards and a touchdown with his legs every game that he's played in. So that is going to be a huge factor. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for 80. You know, I think as high as 85 this season with Colorado. So for him getting 60, 75 yards, a guy that's going to get out of the pocket, if I was OC, that's kind of what I'm keying in on. You just saw Sorsby do it for Cincinnati. It's kind of been an Achilles heel for Haycock, and now, hey, they're dropping their coverage deeper and deeper to make up for the cornerback issues. Let's get out. Let's make some design deep shots that, hey, if you get outside the pocket and there's 10, 15 yards, you go take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, you're going to see a lot more running quarterbacks over the course of the year. Salter this weekend, you know, you're going to see Jalen Daniels. Later on, you know, I'm trying to think of who
Levitt
you'll get
run.
Levitt. Yeah, he can.
Hoover can get out of the pocket.
Yeah, there's going to be guys, and so this is a big weekend to make any adjustments. You know, maybe you say, all right, you know, these corners, they're good enough, I think, and I don't think Colorado's. I don't know. I think they have good receivers, right?
Draylon Miller's good.
Yeah.
Or is it Draylon or O'Marion?
All that to say, I don't think Trey Bell and Quentin Taylor Jr. and these guys are just going to get beat on the outside all game long. I think they're good enough to where they can hold their own, and you can throw more guys in the box and key in on the run, and especially the quarterback run. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking for this weekend. Want to see Rocco bounce back big time, right? Have a big time ball game. And really, I mean, again, things, you're 5-1, you're still a ranked team. If you win out this season, you are almost 100% in the Big 12 championship, right? Some things still have to go your way. You don't technically control your own destiny, but you're almost 100% guaranteed. So with that being said, win this one, and all of a sudden, okay, you got the bye week, and then 2 huge back-to-back games at home against BYU and Arizona State, so really to me it's like, man, the vibes get back on track with a win this weekend. There is such a stark difference between whether you win or you lose this one, right? If you win it, it's like, okay, here we go. Now in the bye week, let's get Conradi healthy. Let's get some other banged-up guys healthy. And then we come back to Ames for what is going to be an absolute zoo for those 2 games, right? If you lose, it just deflates that much more, and I don't know. I don't know what happens then, right? You're out of Big 12 championship, possibilities. You can still salvage a good season, right? If you lose this weekend. I'm not saying the season's over by any means. You can still win, 10 games if you run the table. But anyway, this is a big one, right? There's a lot of implications on this game.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's a secondary that has struggled before. Josh Hoover just went for 275 and 4 touchdowns. For every touchdown he threw, he only had 2 incompletions. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a game, it's very possible that Becht goes out there and takes over this game. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what we're hoping for from him. It's going to be interesting. I think this Colorado team rallies, but I think very highly of this team. So I think they need to bounce back right now. They're 0-3 in conference play. Iowa State just needs this one to finally hit the bye week, get their legs under them, take a deep breath and then relock in. So all eyes are kind of on this game between the 2 teams. There's not a whole lot to look past. It's not like they've got a bye week, it's not like they've got a rivalry coming the week after where, hey, we got to prep for this as well. It's this week and this week only.
Let's move on then to some quick Big 12 college football headlines. I think Texas Tech is really good, Casey. I think they're really good.
They tend to be, man. Oil money can take you a long way, it seems.
Sure can. I think their defense might be the best in the country. I mean, they, like we said earlier, they didn't go out and just get all these incredible, skill guys and a good quarterback. They beefed up the lines of scrimmage and they beefed up their defense, and that's showing, right? That works, I think, better than, okay, let's just go out and buy the hottest commodities on the market. This team's good. Dave Aranda with another classic Dave Aranda performance / win. Finds a way to beat K-State.
I'm not sure how. It's a K-State team that looks to be on the right track again, which is weird. I'm not sure what's going on with them, but Dave Aranda, man, getting things done. Him and Billy Napier both find a way.
How about your Jayhawks over Scott Frost?
They finally got a defensive stop late in the game. My goodness, dude. At the 1-yard line to win the game was absolutely huge for that team. Jalen Daniels is really freaking good.
Yeah.
He is finally looking into that healthy and long-term elite season that we've been waiting for out of him. Jayhawks get it done.
To me, BYU is having a very similar season to last year, right? They're undefeated right now, but they haven't really played anybody yet. I still don't know what to think about this team. Huge road test at Arizona. I think it's at Arizona?
It's at Arizona and then home versus Utah. So it's back-to-back big ones.
Big time. Yes. Curious to see how that one goes this weekend. Arizona State versus Utah this weekend is going to be really interesting. So that's a big 2-week stretch then for the Utes playing those 2 games. That's interesting to me. Is Utah, can they prove that they still, obviously they had that goose egg against Texas Tech. Can they bounce back in this one? I don't know.
We'll see.
Last headline I had, James Franklin.
He's bad.
Is he done?
He's really bad. We've been hinting at this for a long time. I think it's been known, at least me, I don't know about as much as you. I've been really strong on the James Franklin might not be good, which is an issue because he hired Kotelnicki to be his OC away from Kansas. And I really like Kotelnicki. Kotelnicki's fantastic. But James Franklin can't win big games. That was the narrative. Now he can't even win the little ones. UCLA, how do you lose to them?
Winless UCLA. Sans, what was it? Deshaun Foster, right?
Yep.
We're in Los Angeles.
With USC.
California, Los Angeles.
I mean, this team gave up 43 points to Utah. They got beat by Northwestern. They got 20-pieced by New Mexico.
UCLA got beat by Northwestern?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
At Northwestern, 17-14.
Wow. Yeah. Penn State, to me, is just that program that continuously gets, all of the praise in the world for really never beating anybody. And now it's starting to that UCLA game, not only is it not, a top dog, that's one of the worst teams in Power 5 football that just beat Penn State. Crazy. Do we have picks to make this week?
We do have picks if we want to make them quick.
Let's
it is
do
a better week. We split last week. Miami won and Alabama won. So I got Miami right. You got Alabama right. We're going to start off.
What are yearly records right now?
I'm 10-15. You're 9-16. So 1 game back.
Wow.
5 games to pick.
Here we go.
A big college football playoff decider, Caleb. USF at North Texas. It's tonight. We will be watching it. Ranked USF. What do you got?
Yeah, give me the Bulls here. This is just kind of America's team, I feel like. I'm a huge Bulls guy. I get it, though. North Texas is an undefeated ball club right now. This is the battle of the Titans, man. The battle of the group of 5 Titans. I'm going to take South Florida, though, with the road victory down there in old Denton, Texas. I bet that place is going to be bumping tonight.
It's sold out for the first time ever, and it's a night game on a Friday night. That'll be awesome. I'm going to take the Bulls as well. I think Golesh is heading towards a huge opportunity this offseason. Maybe not Penn State big, but he's going to get himself a payday and a power job.
Alex Golesh, former quarterbacks coach at Iowa State University.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I knew he was the tight ends coach at Tennessee.
He's made his rounds.
But yes. Another ranked game, another Bama game. 8 Alabama at 14 Missouri.
I really think Alabama is hitting its stride here. I think it just took them to beat Georgia. Great win against Vanderbilt last weekend. I'm going to ride the wave here. I'm going to take the hot hand. And let's face it, I know who you're picking too. And I know it's not Missouri.
No, it's not. But I'm going to warn people that this Missouri team is really good. They've got a great backfield and arguably one of the best running backs in the nation. Bo Real at quarterback is really good. If they had any other name on them than Missouri or Kansas State, I'd be picking them in this game.
Why did they play UMass last weekend?
Tune-up game. The annual SEC. At least it's not in week 12.
2 weeks ago.
At least it's not, week 12 like they usually do.
Fair.
I'm sure if we look, Alabama's probably got Kennesaw State West. They're not even playing the actual Kennesaw State. They're playing it off-brand Kennesaw State in week 10.
You were close. On November 22nd, they play Eastern Illinois at home. So
that's great.
Yeah.
We'll be tuning in. Speaking of UMass, the game of the weekend. UMass hasn't won since 2023. Kent State hasn't won since 2022.
Whoa. Kent State has a win this week. They beat Merrimack week 1.
No FBS wins.
Oh, okay. Sure.
No FBS wins.
For either of these teams?
For either of these teams in like 2 years in the Toilet Bowl, Caleb.
Wow.
Who do you have winning this game?
Wow. Okay. I'm just looking at stats here, stat comparison between these two teams. It's really, really bad across the board. They're basically in the 130th plus ranking in all major stat metrics: points scored, total yards, passing yards, rushing yards. Wow. I'm a big time patriot, right? I love our country, and there are not many things that inspire me more than the Boston Minutemen at the beginning of the American Revolution. Give me UMass in a massive victory for their first, FBS win?
First in 16 straight games. So October 2023, Kent State has lost 26 straight to FBS opponents. November of 22. Yeah. That long win streak's going to be done, though. Give me Kent State. I'm picking against you.
Sounds good.
Got 2 games left, and then we'll call it a day. I've got number 7 Indiana at number 3 Oregon.
I'll take Oregon here. I think it'll be a close game. I'm going to go with the Ducks at home, though.
I'm going to take Oregon as well. It's the better team. They knock off, but now they don't have a good win. And Penn State win's not good anymore.
Yeah,
so now their next best win's Oregon State. So, and then we're going to end it, Red River Showdown, Oklahoma, Texas. Who do you got?
Oh man, just one of the best games in college football year in and year out. I'm going to go with Oklahoma here. I think this team is better than Texas. I'm still not even close to being a believer in Arch Manning yet. They fell out of the rankings. I'm going to take Oklahoma and John Mateer.
I'm going to take Oklahoma as well. I don't know if John Mateer is cleared to play yet. That's the only issue. He's questionable heading into the game. But I'm going to take Oklahoma as well, even if it's the ground game that gets it done. I think this team finds a way.
And I think we're going to be cut short here, unfortunately, due to time constraints, Casey. But thank you all for tuning in this week. Appreciate you. Sorry we couldn't hit you with the 3 for 3 or the not 3 for 3. I know you guys always
we'll get
love
it next
that
week
so much. We'll do a 6 for 6 and a not 2 for 2. Well, not 6 for 6, I guess. 2 not 3 for 3s. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's get the Cyclones back on track this weekend. We'll see y'all next week.